Oh man, now that's content.
What's up, everybody? My name's Dylan Meenk. This is Jack Attack's Discs in the Bag Top 10 Edition. Welcome to the video. All right, guys, this is Dylan Meenk doing the Jack Attack Disc in the Bag Top 10 Edition. So we're gonna start out, I'm just gonna introduce probably the disc that saved me the most strokes in my entire life. This is gonna be the Flick. It's just flat as a pancake, overstable as all get out. You can throw it on basically a knife, anhyzer, turnover, whatever you need, gets you out of trouble, especially here at my home course, Blaine. Just throw that at you. Next, probably going to be my favorite mold of all time. This is the Destroyer by Innova. This is actually my first ever Destroyer. I have probably 10 of them. Instead of just showing you 10 different Destroyers, I wanted to bring the one that warmed my heart when I looked at it. This one I would throw on any hole when I started disc golfing, whether it be 200-foot hole at Cornwall or 500-foot like par 4. I'm launching this thing as hard as I can. Came a long way since then, but love this disc forever. Next, we would probably say my most reliable distance driver. This is gonna be my Nuke by Discraft. Got it for just a player pack or a tournament. I don't remember. Maybe just it's a Wander the Woods disc. I don't think I actually got it from that, but I just remember throwing it for the very first time. We're at Lake Padden. Pretty cool. We got 2 off of 1, right? Throw my backhand pretty good. Everyone throws about 400 feet. I jokingly throw this one as hard as I can forehand, full flex, farthest drive out of all of them. Never thrown a Nuke before in my entire life, and really just fell in love with this disc ever since. It slowly kind of beat in more and more over time. So now it's really flippy, and I can get some really high distance shots out of this disc. So probably one of my favorite. If I'm not throwing a Destroyer, I'm throwing a Nuke off the tee. Next would be the newest kind of disc in my bag. It would be the MVP Trail. Just a great hyzer flip disc. I've always relied on a hyzer flip for gap shots. It's probably one of my most natural favorite shots to throw. But just loving what's going on here with this disc. Hyzer flip, turnover, another great driver. Next, great memory with this disc. When I first started learning kind of what a hyzer flip was, actually my buddy Cody, while we were out here, I was throwing just a lot of hyzer nose up shots. So he throws me this H5. This is actually an H7, but the H5 is what I really learned how to shape shots through the woods with. And so this is the newest one. This is a Gannon Burr Tour Series H7 back when he was with Prodigy. Luckily enough, I actually bumped into him when I was at the National Tour, or the National Amateur NADGT, and they were doing a distance competition, and I bumped into him, and he signed it for me before the distance or actually after the distance contest. So pretty cool. This disc is just a special spot. I love flippy discs. Unfortunately, I tend to lose them all the time, so I'm constantly going through flippy discs. So this probably won't be in the bag next time you see me, just from the nature of play. This next disc is really what I really learned my forehand with. It's a Innova Firebird, probably one of the most classic discs of all time. Shout out to Nick Hogerhide, gifted me this disc for Christmas, I want to say about 2 years ago. I've had probably 5 to 10 different Firebirds over the last 5 years. My first ace ever was actually hole 3 here at Blaine. It was learning how to throw a forehand. I committed myself to only throwing forehands off the tee that day. Terrible form. Somehow the Firebird saved me. Flexed it through the woods, found the heart of the chain. So ever since then, I've had a Firebird in my bag. This one actually is beaten in beautifully. It's really it's actually my flippy Firebird. I have a couple other Firebirds, but because we're only doing 10, this glow one, I think it's like a 2022 edition, really special to me. When I was looking at all my different mids, hopefully we can do honorable mentions, because I have a really cool dyed Comet by Jack here. But I really love this disc. I used to throw the Comet all the time, but this one doesn't have a bead. It's a little bit of a lower profile, so it just fits into my hand better when I grip it. One of my favorite things about it is just the grip of it. Kind of just beat in perfectly. I can throw it on a little hyzer, it'll flip, hold flat, and then just fade out at the end. If I put it on a little anhyzer, it'll hold the turn. You can really shape it. It's really fun to throw on a forehand because it really just wants to turn the whole way. A shot that I hopefully can learn better in the future, but really great MVP reactor, probably one of the best mids of all time. Next, we have the Discraft Luna. Probably my third favorite, top 5 putter of mine. The Luna used to be my most consistent throwing putter. I had a couple aces with it. I had this blue one. It was in a soft plastic. Loved it. On hole, I think it's 15 at Kayak, just ace run, throw it like 100 feet into the woods. Found about 5 discs trying to find it. So when you're finding other people's discs on a popular course, it's not a good sign if you can't find yours. So unfortunately, this is probably one of the coolest discs I own. It's the 6-time Paul Macbeth World Championship Edition. Threw this a couple times, actually lost it. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. It was like 40, 50 bucks or anything, but I lost it and I was so worried about it. My buddy found it for me. So hang this one up normally, but one of my favorite Lunas of all time. Next, if I didn't have the best disc of all time as my putter, I would be using the Pixel. The Pixel just came out this year and I have fallen in love with it. Throwing it off the tee, got a perfect little flip up on hyzer, will hold a turn, stable at first, really great putting. Like, love this disc. Just got this one for Christmas. It's my newest one. I've had a couple of them, lost a couple of them. A couple of my buddies putt with them. Great disc. If I didn't have the best disc of all time already in my bag for a putter, I would definitely be doing this. All right, last but not least, we have 2 of the same molds coming in the bag. This is actually 10 and 11 for discs, but they're the same thing. They're my favorite discs of all time. I actually used to get people, when I meet people for the first time, they'll make fun of me for using this disc so much. They think it's weird. It's actually one of the first overmold discs ever made. This is the Nova XT by Innova. I have 2 of them. This is the one I always have 2 in the bag. I'll never throw this one off the tee I'll never throw this one off the tee. Sometimes. But this is the best putter I've ever had in my entire life. I keep saying I'm going to replace it with a brand new one every year, and we're on year 3 of doing that. This one I got an ace with on hole 5 at Cornwall. I think I have, at one point I had 19 of these discs. This disc is perfect. If you throw it on a hyzer, when I putt, I like to kind of hyzer the disc right at the basket, and this will almost hyzer flip out of my hand and ride straight into the heart of the basket. You'll see it in some of the videos later on, but nothing cooler than this disc. So it's not about what disc you use. You could have 37 discs in your bag, or you could have 1. It's really about just what you're comfortable with, what you can trust, what you know it's going to do, and consistently landing it in the spot you want to be. So thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Dylan Meenk. Thankfully sponsored by Far From Par. We'll be hopefully competing in a bunch of events this summer. I'll be on the Washington State Team Golf Bellis Fair Mall Rat team. Let's go Rats. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can find my socials, DMink5 on Instagram. You might find me on stage doing stand-up comedy, or maybe even tune into the podcast, 2 Heads, 1 Heart. Cool. Yeah.
I'm sorry for ruining your video.
You didn't ruin it. You made it.
That's a good shot.